Hello guys, on the behalf of Team Samyak, myself Dharmendra, and welcome to all of you in the special series which is mains oriented series. And first of all, I want to inform to all the Hindi medium students that there will be a separate session, or you can say on this science and technology and on all the subjects exclusively for the Hindi medium. This session is exclusively for the English medium candidates. हिंदी माध्यम वालों के लिए एक छोटी सी सूचना देना चाहूँगा कि जो हिंदी माध्यम वाले हमारे जूनियर्स हैं उनके लिए एक सेशन जो होगा वो शाम को रखा गया है विज्ञान एवं प्रौद्योगिकी का, जो कि शुद्ध हिंदी माध्यम में होगा। ये वाला जो सेशन है ये विशुद्ध अंग्रेजी माध्यम में रहने वाला है। ओके, सो इफ़ यू कैन हेयर मी properly, if you can see me properly, then please give me a signal in terms of comments. Let me know that I'm audible to all of you and the screen is visible to all of you. Then after I will start the session. So let me know in comments, anyone let me know. There is one comment so far from the side of kuch bhi. So I'm amazed that in the English medium, exclusive English medium session, there is one guy whose name is Kuch Bhi in Hindi. So please let me know. Then I'm going to start. Okay, so let us start. So first of all, people are talking about cutoff and a lot of things, so I'm not going to deal with that issue, but I will say that good luck to all of you for mains who are going to appear for mains. And anyhow or somehow, if someone was not able to perform up to the mark, even then good luck to them. Better luck next time. There are many battles which are supposed to be fought more than once if you want to win that battle. So let us start with the very first thing, that is what? The syllabus. So first thing you should discuss is syllabus. So in the syllabus you should know the outline of the syllabus. So what is the outline of syllabus for science and technology? So you know very well that in RAS mains, science and technology means second paper. So far science and technology means second paper. So now in terms of mains, when you are saying that science and technology means second paper, then in second paper also there are, you know very well that there are three parts. Out of them one part is science and technology. Now so far the syllabus is not announced by RPSC. There were very minor changes which were executed by RPSC when they have declared the scheme of examination on Tier 1, or we can say RAS prelims. Now in the same way, we should not expect too much changes will be there when they will announce the final scheme of RAS mains. So unless and until we are not having updated syllabus or upgraded syllabus from the side of commission, we will continue with the older one or with the syllabus of 2018 exam. Okay, so now first of all, what are the contents? So the good news is syllabus is almost same. Whatever was there in prelims, almost same is there in the mains also. And the bad news is everything is supposed to be studied in more exhaustive and more you can say proper way. You will not be able to do the things in a way as you were dealing in terms of prelims, because during prelims what we were doing, there were many things which we were not able to understand, but we were doing with that like ke haan isko to mug up kar lete and then after we will see what we can do. Okay, so now we are going to deal with the things in, you can say, comparatively in a, you can say, better way, so that we should not only be able to, we should be able to understand the things, number one. Number two, we should be able to express the things. We should be able to express it in such a way that it should not you can say hinder your pen when you are writing in the mains exam. Okay, so let us start with the syllabus. So the first topic in your syllabus is nanotechnology. Nanotechnology. Now, whenever you are talking about nanotechnology, whenever you see the word nanotechnology, you know very well that in this prelims also, in the classroom, we have discussed about quantum dots. There were only 2 or 3 lines I have discussed about quantum dots, and out of that there was one question. We were lucky enough that yes, there were only 2 or 3 lines discussed in the classroom, and out of that there was a question. But it is not necessary that this time also we will be lucky enough to have the question from the 3 lines. So we will be in need to deal with nanotechnology in a more proper way this time. So in nanotechnology, we have to study it like basics, applications, and government policies. Because if you will see, most of the questions, I should say that 99.9% questions from the nanotechnology are either from the government policies or from the applications. There are chances of all 3 categories of the questions from this topic. For example, they can ask you the questions from nanotechnology in 15 words category, they can ask you in 50 words category, and they can ask you in 100 words category also. People who are appearing first time in the exam, they should be aware of this thing, that what is the nature of this exam, how they people are asking the questions. So first of all, you have to understand one thing in your head, that maximum scoring possibility is lying in the mains if you are aware of the basics. Why I am saying so? Because if you will see, now we will discuss all the questions which have been asked so far by the RPSC from this thing, your science and technology. So I am not able to see your comments. Technical team, ओके मुझे क्या कमेंट्स नहीं दिख रहे हैं किसी के भी. लेट मी ट्राई इन माई लैपटॉप. Because it is showing me that people are waiting. Okay, there are students who are saying इतने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, इतने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, इतने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं. जो लोग हिंदी के लिए पूछ रहे हैं मेरे से, हिंदी का आज शाम को रखा है हमने 8 बजे से, एक्सक्लूसिवली हिंदी का सेशन है वो. ओके, सो दिस सेशन इज एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स हु आर फ्रॉम इंग्लिश मीडियम बैकग्राउंड. गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन, गुड आफ्टरनून. So now whatever your marks are, good luck to all of you. Okay, so now I was talking about the application of science and technology and how you can get or how you can grab maximum marks out of science and technology. So see, when I'm saying you need to stay strong, you need to stay strong on the end of your basics. Why you need to stay strong on the end of your basics? Because most of the questions which are from the 15 words category, they are actually lying from the basics of science. So you need to understand the basics of the science. So what you should study? Study material or resources. So once again, I would like to say that students, I am dividing them in 2 categories. One is students who are from science background, and other one category is the students who are from commerce or humanities background, और जिसको हम बोल देते हैं arts background. So now science background students, first of all, they need to go through their books of 11th and 12th. Why 11th and 12th? I will show you and I will tell you that how the questions can be asked. Sir, English all grammar chapters are compulsory. This is not the class of English. ये English की class नहीं है. English medium में science की class है ये. Okay. So I am talking about science. चलिए आगे चलते हैं. तो अब क्या होने वाला है कि 11th एंड 12th का बुक्स अपने को पढ़ना है. कौन कौन सा पढ़ना है अपने को? From physics you have to study nucleus. The name of the chapter will be nuclei. I am talking about NCERT. Then after, from the book of biology you have to study biotechnology. बायोटेक्नोलॉजी. जो हिंदी माध्यम वाले विद्यार्थी हमसे अभी अभी जुड़े हैं उनसे मेरा निवेदन है कि हिंदी माध्यम वालों के लिए अलग से क्लास रात को होने वाली है 8 बजे से. उसमें हम सिर्फ हिंदी में बात करेंगे, है ना. तो मैंने सारे कमेंट्स देख लिए हैं आपके, अभी मुझे कमेंट्स दिखाई दे रहे हैं, है ना. तो रात को हिंदी की क्लास है 8 बजे से. और ये जो GS जौरवाल जी पूछ रहे हैं कि इंग्लिश ग्रामर चैप्टर्स आर कंपलसरी. पूनम गुड आफ्टरनून. तो मैं इंग्लिश ग्रामर नहीं पढ़ा रहा हूँ, मैं इंग्लिश मीडियम में साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी ले रहा हूँ. ओके चलिए. सो हिंदी वाले शाम को मिलते हैं 8 बजे. ओके अभी इंग्लिश में ये एक्सक्लूसिव इंग्लिश मीडियम है तो लेट इट बी लाइक दैट. ओके सो नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट. 80 marks, yes we can expect 80 marks, 80 plus marks we can expect. Got it? Rest depends upon 2-3 factors. For example, how many questions they are going to delete, how many questions they are going to. Mona Bugalia, नमस्ते मोना, 98 marks. ओके आपको मेंस की तैयारी में लग जाना चाहिए. मोना बुगालिया, आई थिंक शी इज़ माई ओल्ड स्टूडेंट. एंड ओल्ड स्टूडेंट मतलब पहले पढ़ी हुई है शायद मेरे से. एंड शी इज़ लाइक सब इंस्पेक्टर इन राजस्थान पुलिस. आप वही मोना हैं who is serving as inspector in राजस्थान पुलिस. ओके सर इंग्लिश मीडियम में करना है. यस इंग्लिश मीडियम, एक्सक्लूसिव इंग्लिश मीडियम बैच इज़ अवेलेबल. ओके और अभी ये जो है ये इंग्लिश मीडियम का ही सेशन है. हिंदी मीडियम वालों का सेशन रात को लेने वाले हैं हम 8 बजे. एक बार फिर अनाउंस कर रहा हूँ, मैं थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में बताता रहूँगा जो नए आ रहे हैं. हिंदी मीडियम वालों का शाम को होने वाला है. ओके सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू रिज्यूम द टॉपिक. सो फ्रॉम बायोलॉजी यू हैव टू स्टडी द बायोटेक्नोलॉजी फ्रॉम NCERT. वंस अगेन ऑल द बुक्स आई एम टॉकिंग हियर आर NCERT. देन आफ्टर फ्रॉम केमिस्ट्री, chemistry books, what you have to study? You have to study atom and you have to study everyday chemistry. Everyday chemistry. Then after you have to cover up environmental chemistry. Environmental chemistry, and you will be surprised. There were direct questions and there will be direct questions from the books. Only demo classes or full course. नहीं, आप चेक कीजिए थंबनेल में इंग्लिश मीडियम लिखा है. हिंदी मीडियम वाला रात के लिए लगा हुआ है थंबनेल. चलिए. देन आफ्टर पीपल हु आर फ्रॉम कॉमर्स और आर्ट्स बैकग्राउंड, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू स्टडी 9th and 10th NCERT. देन आफ्टर यू हैव टू गो थ्रू 11th and 12th NCERT's only related chapters, and chapters I have mentioned here. Now the people who are from science background, they can directly start with the questions. People who are from non-science background, they should start with the concepts. First of all, they should understand the concepts, because there are very different dimensions when I am asking you a question. For example, there is a question, in which of the following year nano mission was launched by government of India? Options will be like that: 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Now it is comparatively easy. You have to do one thing, you have to identify any one of them, that yes, this is my question, this is my answer. But if there is a question from the very same, like in 15 words category or in 50 words category, they can ask both. What is nano mission? Now this question looks like similar, but it is quite difficult to answer. Why it is quite difficult to answer? Because in the classes I have seen many a times, it might be that I am talking about you or someone else, or you could be from this category. There are many students during prelims, I have seen that, and during these almost more than a decade I am dealing with the students who are preparing for competitive exams. So many times I have seen the students who will stand up in the class like, yes, I want to answer. They will raise their hand, and then after, if I am asking them that what is this, okay, so their answer will be that sir बता नहीं पा रहा हूँ या समझा नहीं पा रही हूँ मैं, मुझे आता तो है. So if you are that kind of candidate, then 101% I am telling you, you are in need to stay alert in terms of mains. Why you are in need to stay alert in terms of mains? Because in mains you will be in need to describe, you will be in need to explain the things in a way which the person who is reading your answer should get it. Okay, good afternoon everyone, good afternoon. So one thing from I think this line I have seen in the lectures of Mukta Rao ma'am. She is also with us and she will be here to guide you and to teach you also. I have heard somewhere and I have seen many of my friends and my schoolmates who have been to the engineering background. I heard about engineers that an engineer can do anything. Got it? So now I can, when I have, you can say, observed the sessions of Mukta Rao ma'am, I am agree with the proverb, I should say, that engineers can do anything. So I will recommend you highly that you should also go through all the sessions of Mukta Rao ma'am also. She is running a kind of series about how to write down the answers. We will provide you basic information. We will try to share our knowledge with you. We will collect the information for you. Namaste, namaste, Mahesh Baisla, namaste. Hello juniors. Okay, so now I'm going to start with next thing. So I told you that very first thing is you have to understand the nature of the exam. तो मुक्ता राव मैम का अगर तुम सेशन देखोगे तो उसमें एक बड़ी अच्छी बात उन्होंने बोली है, that examiner or RPSC cannot see your face. That means I should say that they cannot evaluate you through brain mapping. Brain mapping is a technology. We will discuss about this also. So what they will do, all yourself is reflected or resembled into what? Your copy. So whatever you are writing there, your answer sheet I should say. So your answer sheet will speak about a lot of things. For example, your answer sheet will be capable to tell your political opinion. So write down first thing, stay politically neutral. I keep on saying that anyone who is having a dream to become a civil servant, okay, is supposed to stay politically neutral, religiously neutral. People who are saying हिंदी में बोलो बॉस, हिंदी में रात को होगा सेशन, ये इंग्लिश वालों का सेशन है. गॉट इट? हिंदी वालों का रात को 8 बजे रखा है, एक बार आप देख लीजिए, ये इंग्लिश मीडियम का सेशन है. सो politically neutral and religiously neutral, you have to stay like that. Whatever you are in your personal life doesn't matter, but in your answer sheet it should not appear like that you are impressed with X party or Y party or Z party. Good afternoon everyone. Then after second thing, your answer sheet will tell your awareness, level of awareness. So you should be aware of all the government schemes. You should be aware of all the international level developments. For example, space technology. It is not in your syllabus, not a part of mains, but communication and IT. Communication technology is part of your syllabus. So you should be aware of all the space applications. For example, communication satellites. If you are not aware of this thing, if you are not aware of bands, if you are not aware of frequency, if you are not aware of government's initiatives, then how you will be able to deal with the answer? Then after, next thing, you people should have in-depth knowledge of basics. For example, in your syllabus there is nuclear technology. So how you can understand nuclear technology unless and until you are not having the basic knowledge of atom, if you are not having basic knowledge of nucleus? So it is not enough that you are aware of proton, electron, neutron, everything. The most important thing here is you have to know and you should know about the subatomic particles, positron, neutrino, mesons, everything you should know. Okay, so then only you will be able to deal with this thing. जो लोग बार बार हिंदी 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 कमेंट कर रहे हैं, प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. यहाँ पर दो बातें मैं डिस्कस नहीं करने वाला हूँ. एक तो कट ऑफ कितनी रहेगी मैंने सुबह बात कर ली थी, और जो सीनियर्स हैं अलग जो वो कर चुके हैं बात बहुत सारी. सेकंड थिंग आई एम टेलिंग यू, हिंदी का एक्सक्लूसिव सेशन शाम को होने वाला है ना. ये बिल्कुल, ये देखिए हमारी टेक्निकल टीम भी अभी कमेंट कर रही है. तो प्लीज़ टेक्निकल टीम, जो बच्चे कंफ्यूज हो रखे हैं कि ये हिंदी में क्यों नहीं बोल रहे हैं, तो उनको बताते रहिए आपकी हिंदी का शाम को होने वाला है. गॉट इट? सो नाउ लेट अस स्टार्ट with the examples of questions. What type of questions RPSC is going to ask you? So the first question they have asked in RAS 2016. Namaskar everyone. Hello book lover everyone. Okay, now see, the first question was there, a light and heavy body have same momentum. See, जैसे ही क्वेश्चन देखा, सबसे पहले देखो इस क्वेश्चन की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है. यू हैव टू describe it in 15 words. 15 word means you should be know. Okay, thumbnail में हिंदी लिखा है. टेक्निकल टीम, स्टूडेंट्स बोल रहे हैं कि थंबनेल में हिंदी लग गया है गलती से, तो उसको चेंज कीजिए अगर ऐसा है तो. Okay, thank you for the information. Now let me continue. So the limit is 15 words. Now 15 words means okay, Indian Army, salute to you. I would like to salute you. Okay. Now see, change हो गया है. Okay. Now see, a light and heavy body have the same momentum. So to crack the question, I will not describe the model answers here, because for the model answers you are having a lot of options. But here I am going to tell you the technology or the technique to crack the answer, how you should study and how you will be able to crack the answer. So first of all, you should know the basics. Now the very basics is, first of all, you should know what is momentum. So you know very well that momentum is velocity into mass. P equals to mv. Now v is velocity, m is mass. Now they are talking about kinetic energy. So you should know about the formula of kinetic energy. There are three basic formulas. P equals to mv. You should be aware of this thing. पंडित का प्रणाम, नमस्ते नमस्ते सभी को नमस्ते, गॉड ब्लेस यू. शाम को मिलते हैं हिंदी मीडियम वालों 8 बजे. सो काइनेटिक एनर्जी इज व्हाट? के ई, और मैनी टाइम्स इट इज रिटन इज ई के. it is always half mv square. Then after one more thing you should be aware of, I'm telling you in addition, that you can see here that in the question they are saying that they are having the same momentum, a light and a heavy body, so P equals to mv. So now if you will try to calculate belong to X serviceman category, I write answers for UPSC mains sir. For RPSC it is challenging to confine my answers within 15 lines sir. I want help in that. We are not, I should not say that I am, I should say we are there for this thing. Shivangi, namaste. Namaste juniors, to all of you namaste. We will try to share everything we are having in our neurons, and we will try to share everything we are having on the behalf of our experience. Got it? So let's see. अगर किसी को मोमेंटम नहीं पता, गॉट इट, हिंदी मीडियम शाम को 8 बजे मिलते हैं. वंस अगेन आई एम सेइंग, ओके, नाउ सी, इफ समवन इज नॉट अवेयर ऑफ मोमेंटम, then how he will or she will be able to crack the question? So from where we will be able to find out momentum? So if you will go through the books of 9th and 10th, NCRTs of 9th and 10th, you will find out some of the basic formulas. For example, W equals to mg. For example, W equals to work equals to force into displacement. Then after you should know about the laws of motion. If you will go through them, then you will come to know that the second law of motion, I'm talking about Newton's law of motion, talks about conservation of momentum. Then after you should be aware of G and G. What is the difference between G and G? RAS pre का रिजल्ट कब तक आएगा, डोंट नो, कैन नॉट हेल्प इन टू थिंग्स. वन इज कट ऑफ कितना जाएगा, अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 80. सेकेंड इज रिजल्ट कब आएगा, आई कैन नॉट हेल्प यू. आई एम हियर टू डिस्कस द स्ट्रेटेजी दैट हाउ वन शुड प्रिपेयर फॉर RAS मेंस. Okay, then after they can ask you about the optics, basic questions from optics they can ask you, and I will show you the questions they have been asked directly from the NCRT books. Got it? So now let's see. This question is saying that momentum of two things is the same. Which thing is having higher velocity? So simple thing is, you know very well that P square upon 2m equals to kinetic energy. Now how this is calculated we will discuss in details whenever and if you will go through these two formulas you can easily calculate this thing. So on the behalf of this thing you can say that the lighter will be have more, you can say, kinetic energy. You can do it in multiple ways. There are many ways to solve this question, and this question is asked from NCRT 10th. Now next is, how does the density of nucleus depends on size of how does the density of nuclear depends upon the size of nucleus? Does the density of atom also follows the same rule? So now see, if you want to grab all the marks, actually this answer should be written or given in two parts. Why? Because the question is in two parts. So whenever you see this type of question, many questions you will see like this. So what you have to do? You have to break the question in two parts. One part is this, one part is this. First of all, you should deal with this thing. Now I told you that from 12th NCERT you need to study about the nucleus. Why you need to study about the nucleus? Answer to that thing is you need to study in depth about nucleus. Why? Because there is nuclear technology, and I will show you in 2016, in 2018, in 2013 also there were questions directly asked from the nucleus. Not only in 15 words but in 50 words also they have asked you questions. Many of the students were there who tried to avoid the basics of the nuclear physics, and then after they use their own head and they are thinking that we will cover up the nuclear energy program of India, 3-stage program and all the nuclear power plants, and Tarapur was established with the help of this country, Rawat Bhatta was established with the help of this country. There are so many plants in India, capacity in megawatt, they have mug up all the things, and when they are appearing in the exam there is a question on beta decay. So the student can feel like shattered. What is this? I have studied so much and the question is not asked out of that. Actually, whenever you will try to avoid the basics, science, the basic thing about science is basics. You have to understand the basics. I should say the basics. Basics are going to work as escape velocity platform. And you know very well that without help of escape velocity, one cannot travel into space. And here space means RAS means your pen should glide on the answer sheet. And how it will glide? When you are aware of the basics. So why I am saying that the answer should be divided in two parts. So first thing they have asked, the density of nucleus depends upon the size of nucleus. So your answer should be yes. How your answer should be yes? If you will go through the basics of NCERT, then you will come to know that there is a formula. Density of nucleus. So how they are talking about density of nucleus in NCERT? They are saying that D equals to A upon. Now what is D? D is density. D is density. A is what? Atomic number. This is the formula. So your answer should be that yes, density of atom or radius of nucleus depends upon what? Atomic number. So there is a scope of only 2 lines, but 2 lines should be like that. It should be like a punch, that yes, knockout. Got it? So your answer should be in 2 lines. How you can write down the answer? So if you are aware of basics, you will start to write down your answer like this. Your first line will be complete answer. Your first line will be complete answer. Ram Ram. राम राम पंकज जी. इफ़ यू आर फ्रॉम हिंदी मीडियम देन वी विल मीट इन द इवनिंग. अगर आप हिंदी माध्यम से हैं तो हम शाम को मिलेंगे 8 बजे. गॉट इट? नाउ फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई एम गोइंग टू राइट डाउन द आंसर, आई विल स्टार्ट लाइक दिस. रेडियस ऑफ न्यूक्लियस only depends upon atomic number. And everyone who have studied periodic table knows that how the radius of nucleus will change with the atomic number. But one more thing you should mention here is second thing. What is that? That is the second part of the answer. Density of atom also follows the same rule. So here I am saying that radius of nucleus. So I am done with the first part. With this, to grab more marks, I can mention the formula I am talking about. I have mentioned on the other slide. Got it? Now, does it affect or does it followed by the radius of you can say atom also? So your answer should be no. Radius of atom will not follow this. It will only affect the radius of nucleus. Next is Joule-Thomson. Once again, Joule-Thomson effect. You know very well that Joule-Thomson effect, it is again asked from the basics of physics. Basic of physics. When you will study about NCERT gases, और बेसिक्स ऑफ फिजिक्स। हिंदी का सेशन रात को है। जितने भी बच्चे सुन रहे हैं, जितने भी जूनियर्स, जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स, जितने भी RAS एस्पिरेंट्स, जितने भी ऑफिसर्स फ्यूचर के सुन रहे हैं, हिंदी का सेशन शाम को है 8 बजे से। उसमें सिर्फ हिंदी में ही बात करेंगे। अभी इंग्लिश का सेशन है तो इंग्लिश में ही बात होने दो एक बार। टेक्निकल टीम प्लीज आप कमेंट कर दीजिए, बच्चे जो कमेंट कर रहे हैं इनके नीचे। एंड जो लोग पूछ रहे हैं कितने मार्क्स पे सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा, ठीक है, 80 के अप्रॉक्स जाने वाली है। कितनी जाने वाली है, मेरे से बहुत सीनियर लोग हैं जो RAS में बहुत सालों से काम कर रहे हैं, वो इसका जवाब दे चुके हैं। सुबह गौरव सर की क्लास थी, उन्होंने बहुत डिस्कशन किया इस पे। ओके, सो जूल थॉमसन इफेक्ट, एवरीवन नोज दैट। जब भी हम गैस पढ़ते हैं, गैस के लॉ जब हम पढ़ते हैं, PV इक्वल्स टू nRT and many other things are there. I'm not going to deal with that in details. Basics, simple सी बात याद रखना, higher pressure to lower pressure, higher pressure to lower pressure, whenever you will release the pressure, reduction in pressure on gas will lead to decrease in the temperature of gas. This is the basic concept of Joule-Thomson effect. Now once again I am telling you, if you are not aware of the basics, how you can answer this. That's why from the very same time I am talking about that you need to go through the basics. Especially please suggest important chapters. I have suggested in the initial phase of this lecture. I started from there only. There are only 2-3 things. One, you have to study about nucleus. Second, you have to study about the nuclear chemistry. Third, you have to study about atom. Fourth, you have to study about the everyday chemistry, environmental chemistry. That is enough from NCERT, and optics also. Why? Because they will not ask you directly the question from the optics, but indirectly they can ask you the questions. Got it? And all the answers, especially all the questions which are based upon 15 words explanation, they needs very high and very in-depth knowledge of basics of science. Without that you will not be able to answer it. Yes, next is about dengue fever. Write down the name of now once again 15 words. They are asking you two things: vector and causative or causal organisms. Now you know very well it is a viral fever, and you know very well that it is a mosquito borne, or mosquito is the vector. Now the name of mosquito is Aedes. Yes, everyone knows Aedes aegypti. And then after, what is the name of virus of dengue? Everyone knows that. Yes, arbovirus, arboflavivirus. So there is not too much scope of writing down or ornamental things in this. Yes, Aedes, exactly. So you have to be concise also. The best thing about science is, if you know the answer, if you know the basics, there is no need of extraordinary ornamentation of this answer. There is no need exactly. You need to know only 2-3 things from the basics, and you will be able to explain it in 15 words. Within the desired word limit, you will be able to grab maximum possible mark. For example, this question, in this question, if you are getting less than 2, that means there is a question mark on your preparation. This type of question should yes, exactly, chapter 8, yes, 12th chapter 8. Then after, what are umbrella species? Give an example of umbrella species. Once again, only 15 words. So you should have the knowledge of basics. See, what are umbrella species? Umbrella species are actually important by the point of view of conservation of species and biodiversity both. This question is actually asked from the biodiversity. Got it? RAS प्री TSP लोकोमोटर डिसेबल की सूरज मेरिट सूची में नहीं बताई. Go and ask RPSC. I cannot help in these admin related matters. Okay, now see, important by the point of view of conservation of species and biodiversity. Now, what are umbrella species? So these are the species. Actually, there is nothing to do with umbrella, but what the umbrella can do, umbrella can protect. If I am holding the umbrella, I can give shelter to 2 or 3 people more. Got it? In the same way, umbrella species is the species if umbrella species are protected, then indirectly many other species will be protected. So they are identified and they are named as umbrella species. I told you both the things. Now if you want to give examples, then there are many examples. The best example you can give in Indian context is red panda. That is an example of umbrella species. So this question is actually asked from the field of biodiversity. Next is Kepler's law. Once again physics. Once again physics. If you will study the chapter gravity from NCERT, this question is picked up from there. They play a huge role in biodiversity chain to exactly Harpreet Bishnoi. You are absolutely correct. Okay, yes. So anyone who is from हिंदी मीडियम वालों का शाम को सेशन होने वाला है. ये थंबनेल हमारी टेक्निकल टीम से गलती से लग गया था. ये सेशन अभी जो चल रहा है इंग्लिश मीडियम का एक्सक्लूसिवली, जैसे अभी एक्सक्लूसिव इंग्लिश मीडियम का चल रहा है, इवनिंग वाला सेशन एक्सक्लूसिवली हिंदी मीडियम का होगा, हिंदी माध्यम का होगा. Okay, now see, Kepler's law. You know very well that Kepler is saying that if this is sun, then all the planets, there are 3 laws. Once again, 50 word is the limit. So out of 50 words, if you, all the classes of mains in English like your class, yes, exactly. I will deal with 3 things in mains. One is science and technology, second is history and culture, and third is geography. All the classes will be exclusively in English medium. Got it? RAS means test series kab chalegi. All these things you should inquire from the number which is given in the, you can say, description of this video, or somewhere else you can get the number of Samyak classes. There you should inquire these things. Okay. So exclusive English medium batch. Yes, we are having exclusive English medium batch. Got it? English medium means English medium. There is no mixing of Hindi and English medium students. It is very difficult for the English medium students, and I am thankful, especially I am thankful to the Samyak platform. Why? Because from a long time, even I was having the problems that in Jaipur there were no exclusive platforms for the English medium students. Got it? What do you have planned for test series, for mains, for online students? Yes, all these things, Palsania, you should inquire on the counter. Got it? Yes, there are test series and there are classes also, online classes and offline, both the batches are there. So you should discuss. Yes, there is a number displayed by our technical team. You can call there and you can ask all these things there. Let me deal with my field only, and my work is I stay away from all these management things. I believe in dealing with this thing. You are juniors, I am a senior student, I am discussing my experience with you. That's all. Got it? Now see, this is sun. So what the Kepler is saying, I was telling you that the word limit is 50 only. So in 50 word limit, you have to describe 3 laws. That means once again, there is not so much scope. There is not so much scope about you can say ornamentation here again. You don't have time to answer the things in such a way, that's how, hence proved, this and that. No, science means you have to, thanks for your guidance, really useful in pre, looks forward in mains too. Yes, exactly. I will try to share as much as possible. Now see, when we are talking about the mains, especially in science background, what you are supposed to do, you have to answer straightforward. There are 3 laws. Write down and grab the marks. That's all. The deal is simple. So first law is saying that all the planets are orbiting in elliptical order. Got it? This is the first. Second law is saying, so first is elliptical orbit. Second is saying that per unit time, if we'll calculate the area, this area A and this will be the area B. So distance traveled in per unit time in elliptical order will cover the same area. So they are saying area A will be equals to area B. Then after third thing, Kepler talks about the period. Period means the time taken by you can say any planet to orbit in its orbit. So it is T square R cube. T square is period. Got it? And R cube is related to distance of planet from the sun. So there are three rules. Yes, exactly. There are three laws and there are scope of 3-4 lines. Got it? Next is about pH. Next question is about pH. So the concentration of hydrogen ion in a sample of soft drink is this much. What is the pH? So actually they are going to ask you, thanks for the positive comments. Got it? So they are actually asking you the connection between pH and hydrogen ion. So I am dealing with here, actually this is not mentioned here. So let me tell you one thing. What is pH? It is actually calculated on the behalf of H plus ions. Thank you everyone. Got it? So first of all they are going to ask you that what is the formula of pH. On the behalf of pH 2-3 questions are asked every year, they can ask you. So I am going to deal with everything here in a single shot, so that again and again I will not be need to repeat the thing. So first of all you should know the full form of pH. So pH is potential of hydrogen ions. These are the basic things you should know to answer these things in 50 words. Second thing is pH was discovered by whom? Your answer should be Sorensen. Sorensen was from Denmark. Third thing you should know that the pH was discovered in 1909. It was discovered in 1909. Why I am giving you so much of information? Concentration of negative ions or H plus ions in aqueous solution of this. Yes, exactly, Harpreet. This is the answer. Now see, this is the basic information about pH. Now everyone knows that pH scale. pH scale. Now the range of pH scale is from 0 to 14. And you know there is a milestone 7. 7 is neutral. 0 to 6.9. It is acidic. 7.1 to 14. It is base. Then after you should know about the use of litmus paper, red and blue. So hopefully you people are aware of all these things if you are done with the prelims. Now I am going to deal with it directly. So I am saying that pH equals to minus log H plus, or I can write down it like that. It is log 10 1 upon H. Now they will give you the value of, yes, blue, red, exactly. I'm not going to deal with everything here. I'm just telling you that how you should crack the answer and how the basics will help you. And if you are not having the knowledge of basics, then don't worry. In the classes, we will discuss everything from 0 to the maximum we know. We will share everything with you. Got it? Now see, they will give you in such question, which question is incomplete here actually. Otherwise, we can do calculations. Now see, in this question they have given you yes, now see, the concentration of hydrogen ion in a sample of soft drink is this much. So whatever will be the value, it will be written here. What is its pH? So if you know the basic formula of pH, which is this one, then you can easily calculate. Yes, exactly, methyl orange. And there is no need of having a knowledge of BSc or MSc level. Everything is asked up to the level 12th. Even if you can see, then this question of pH calculation is also belongs to 12th standard. One more thing I want to tell you here. In science and technology, there are chances, there are 100% chances, I am not saying there are chances, 100% chances of grabbing 100% marks. Because the question like this, they have asked you the calculation. This question is quite similar to the questions of maths. So if you know about the formula of pH, and if you know how to apply the formula of pH, the value of log will always be given in the paper. The people who are from maths or science background, they know very well that they will always provide you the basic log value for the calculation. Log table देंगे वो तुम्हारे को, ठीक है? And the value of sample of hydrogen ion, value of hydrogen ion in the sample is given here. So it is very easy to calculate. Only two things you have to mention. One is formula, second one is result, and maximum marks. Out of out marks. Got it? This type of chances are very less in humanities subjects. So try to study as much as possible. Why? Because the competition will be like cutthroat competition. Then genetic engineering, genetically engineered insulin. So first thing, genetically engineering insulin. So genetically engineered insulin is what? So first of all, you should know about the meaning. Whenever you are talking about meaning, the answer should be in three parts. One is meaning, second one is methods, and third one is application. Three things, 50 words and maximum marks. Once again, sir, OBC मेंस की प्रिपरेशन करूं या नहीं? शौर्य शर्मा इज आस्किंग. ओबीसी मेल 80 है. शौर्य शर्मा, see approximately 80 है now. Cross the fingers and keep on studying. Very soon they will be like able to tell you how many questions are deleted or answers are changed. Now see, there are three parts. One is meaning, second one is methods, third one is application. Now see, first of all, meaning. Meaning is what? In the meaning section, you have to tell them that insulin could be of two types. One is natural insulin. Second one could be genetically engineered insulin. This is also named as humulin. Guys, humulin is the key to grab the answer, grab the marks. If you will say humulin, then you will be able to get maximum marks. So first of all, you have to say what is humulin. Humulin is the term used to describe or denote the genetically engineered insulin. This is first section. Now second is that method, how it is prepared. So we don't have scope to explain maximum things here. We have to answer. I will not answer anything related to cutoff. I am here to discuss the paper for the mains. Now, genetically engineered insulin is prepared with recombinant technology, and E. coli is used as vector. I don't think there is more scope to say the things after this. Then after third is application. This technique is applicable and used widely for the industrial production of insulin. So with the help of this technology, insulin can be produced on industrial level. Got it? Next is enlist various trophic levels in an ecosystem and give suitable examples of each trophic level. So everyone knows that there are very basic trophic levels. One is producers. Producers are actually the components who will perform photosynthesis. The components which are capable to perform photosynthesis. Now, the question is actually divided in two parts. This type of question should always draw the diagram. Whenever there is a possibility, draw one diagram on the one side of this thing. Now, photosynthetic components, for example, plants, blue-green algae, then after algae, lichen, etc. All of them are named as producers. Then after, you know very well that there are primary consumers, trophic level 1, then after secondary consumer, then tertiary consumers, and you can give examples. This was a kind of easy question. Next is, what do you understand with communication system? Once again, this question this type of question, I should say, in this type of question, marks depends entirely on diagram, or I should say flow chart. Guys, you have to understand one thing. In prelims, there were very less chances of IT and communication, but in mains, every year there are very fair chances that they are going to ask you questions. Can I cover the syllabus for mains? Yes, easily you will be able to cover the syllabus for mains. Why? Because in mains we will be in need to study in a selective manner, and maximum syllabus of RAS mains is actually the syllabus of RAS prelims. You have to you can say practice answer writing, number one. Number two, you should know that how to explain the things, how to you can say represent your answer. That will be the basic need of the thing. For example, this thing. Now see, you should know that they are saying that what do you understand with communication system? Give block diagram. See, they have asked about block diagram. So if they are saying that you need to draw a block diagram, then you should know there are fundamental units of communication channel. So what is communication channel? Got it? So first thing is, there are transmitters, there are channel, and there are receiver. That's how the communication runs. First thing. Second thing, last time revision में से 3 question correct हुए. Thank you. Got it? Actually, if you will see my online lectures, the students who were attached with me from my online lecture, I can tell you quantum dots was there. Then after there was Tianwen. Then after there were many other questions also. I should not waste the time because now we are talking about mains. So we are looking forward. Got it? Now see, transmitter, channel and receiver. Once again I am telling you, if you know the basics, then you will grab maximum marks. So first thing you have to tell them that in case of communication block, there are 3 things: transmitter, channel and receiver. Now what are the components of transmitter? So what is going to be conveyed through communication? You know very well that information is going to be conveyed. So first of all, you have to say there is some information. Now this information will go to source encoder. You know very well that coding is necessary to keep the quality and maintain the quality of information. Then after there will be channel encoder. This will help us that the information should run into the proper channel. So first of all, you have to enrich, you have to nourish your content. There will be people who will write down that information is the source is generating the information, then there is conveyor or channel is bringing forward the information, then after receiver is receiving the information. No, you have to understand, I am getting 81 OBC mail, can I start? Please, again and again I am telling you, approximately 5 plus 5 minus 5 के बीच में कुछ भी हो सकता है, 83 plus 5 minus 5 कुछ भी हो सकता है. It entirely depends upon the attitude of RPSC towards the questions which are going to be questioned by the people through the objections. Okay, now then after there will be module. Now what is module and all these things we will discuss in details when we will study about the communication with the mains perspective. So in your answer, if this thing is written there, that means you are done with 1/3 of the task. You are done with 1/3 of the task. Then after, this whole bunch is actually transmitter. So I can write down like this. This is transmitter. This all thing is transmitter. Then after there is channel. In channel there is no need to explain about the, you can say, components. Now we are going to deal with receiver. So whenever receiver will take the information, now this is module, so it is modulated. So first of all you need to demodulate the information. Demodulation segment. Because every information, for example, whatever you are hearing right now or you are watching right now, your phone is constantly, your screen is constantly demodulating it, your device is constantly demodulating the information. Then after, there will be opposite to this, channel decoder. Then there will be source decoder, and then there will be information. Got it? Now this information is received by the end, which is named as information sink. Information sink. So this segment which will receive the application is named as receiver. Now there is no need to do anything if you are aware of this basic structure of communication channel. On the behalf of this, I don't think that it will be a difficult task for anyone to explain the things in 100 words. What you have to do, you have to draw the things, the examiner will see the diagram. Okay, the candidate is aware of the basics. Now he will see, yes, obviously he will read out, he will cross check each and every term, each and every word you are using. But in that you are having a scope now to use the things, basic knowledge of modulation, basic knowledge of demodulation, and with the help of that you will easily be able to crack the answer. Then after they are saying conductor, semiconductor, and you can say this thing. Now first of all you should know some of the basics. There is one thing, resistance. Everyone knows that resistance is explained in ohm. Now this thing is explained in terms of conductivity. So conductivity is opposite to, it is opposite to resistance. It is totally opposite to resistance. Got it? Now when you are talking about resistance, you are talking about ohm. When you are talking about conductivity, you talk about opposite to resistance. Now what is opposite to resistance? It is Mho. So it is explained in Mho per meter. Now if you are aware of this thing, Mho per meter, that means you have ensured that you are going to grab marks. Got it? So any one of you who have used this thing, that Mho per meter is actually the unit to define conductivity. Mho per meter is used to explain, to describe the conductivity, and if you are able to say that conductivity is just opposite to resistance, this much knowledge is lying in basic physics. Basic physics. Got it? where you can got this thing, you can got this thing in 9th and 10th standard also. All these things are given there. Now the question is asking you about the band theory of solids. So there are different bands on the behalf of, I don't know why it is not moving. Yes, now I am able to move it. Now see, when they are going to ask you about the bands, you have to mug up some of the things. For example, conductors. Semiconductors and insulators. Because they have asked you to write down 100 words, that means there is a scope to explain the things. So here you can explain that conductors, they are having valence electrons, easily available, and they will easily allow the flow of electricity through it. Now they are asking you about the bands. So everyone who knows the basics is aware of this thing. 10 raised to power 6 to 10 raised to power is the band for the conductors. If you are able to mention this range, that means you are able to answer it in a way as the RPSC needs you to explain. RPSC wants you to explain it. Then after semiconductors, everyone knows that 10 raised to power minus 2 to 10 raised to power 4 महो per meter. Then after insulators, इनका और कम हो जाने वाला है 10 raised to power minus 10 to 10 raised to power minus 12 महो per meter. So if you are aware of this basic thing, now with this you can say that, sir, how we can explain it, how we will be able to write down this thing. So only three basic things you are in need to understand. One is valency electrons, second is flow of electricity. Flow of electricity is actually the flow of electrons in opposite direction. So whenever there are easily available valency electrons, they will allow us to flow anything. Now you can give examples of these things whenever you are now to, because why we need to give examples? Because they need actually segments in the answers. Your answer should be written in the segments. Now in this question, what is the scope of segmentation? First of all, you have to tell them about the basics of conductivity. So here you can say that we are aware of one thing, that conductivity is opposite to resistance. Then in the second line, you are not in need to explain this thing in a way as in the history you will be in need to explain. No, you have to be scientific, and the knowledge of science actually teaches you to stay concise. You have to stay focused. Don't look here and there. There is no need to use the language. There is need of use of basics. Got it? So first of all, you start your answer with the basics of conductivity. Then after, in next line, you have to tell them the unit used to explain the conductivity. Then after, third thing, you have to talk about valency electrons. Then after, in the next segment, this is done, this is first segment. Then after, in the next segment, bands. Now in the bands, you have to talk about the bands I discussed here. Done. Then after, third thing, examples. Now in the examples, you have to give the example of best conductor. Now the best conductor you know very well is silver, then after copper, then after aluminium. Again, the NCERT knowledge will help you. Then after, you have to give examples of semiconductors. Now everyone knows semiconductors, there are many semiconductors, silicon, germanium. Then after, you have to talk about insulators. So whenever you are talking about insulators, you can mention the example of pure water, dry wood, many things are there. Now next, chromosomal disorders. Now see, this question is again divided in two parts. One is introduction, second is examples. How many examples? 2 examples. Now 100 words. Let's start. What are chromosomal disorders? So you know very well that chromosomal disorders or abnormality in terms of structures or numbers of chromosomes are named as chromosomal disorders. Now they are asking you two examples. So this question is quite easy in terms of if you know the basic things. Got it? If you know the basics of these things. Got it? Now see. First thing. Both the examples you have to choose them wisely. Why you have to choose them wisely? Because you have to. Yes, fantastic question to describe. Exactly. Now why you need to you can say understand this thing. Because there are multiple examples, but you have to pick up the one. Juniors, please try to understand. You have to pick up the one in which they are going to expect you to explain maximum in minimum words. Why in minimum words? Because at least 1/3 of your word limit is consumed by this thing. Now examples, they are left. Now one example I would like you to suggest is most common example is Down syndrome. Why Down syndrome? Because there is multiple scope. First thing is Down syndrome is example of what? Trisomy. Trisomy of what? 21st pair. And I am very happy to announce here that in the revision classes you can see on the YouTube I have discussed about this thing, and this question is asked in prelims also. Got it? I have discussed about methane gas and the question is asked. I have discussed about Tianwen and the question is asked. I have discussed about quantum you can say quantum dots and the question is asked. You can go and cross check on the app of Samyak. You will be surprised. Only two questions were there. I have discussed in details. If any one of you was my student, was with me when I was discussing about the history of Rajasthan, you will be happy to see if you will go to your classes. If anyone is there, she or he can cross check there. I have talked about Anjana Chaudhary in detail. And if you will see, I was there with PowerPoint because we were having very less time. So I have prepared PowerPoints, and in that PowerPoint, whatever was written about Anjana Chaudhary, all those things have been asked in the question. Got it? One more thing was there. We talked about Kajli Tees and the question is asked. And best thing happened during this time. I talked about Karna Bheel, the one who is expert of NUD. I talked about NUD also, and I can recall one thing, that in that lecture I was telling them that it is this much of you can say length and one has to play it like this, and the question is asked. Many questions have been asked directly from the classes. So it was, you can say, I was happy that God was rewarding us. The supernatural power was rewarding us. God was with us, Allah was with us, Bhagwan was with us, Vaheguru was with us. And hopefully in the same way this time also God will help us. So juniors will work hard, senior will share his knowledge and experience, and hopefully you people will be able to come here and you people will be able to convert yourself into a flag bearer for the next, you can say, generation. As Mukta Rao madam, she is guiding thousands of students. Got it? In the same way, hopefully next year any one of you can come up with a kind of, you can say, success, grand success, I would like to say. Now see, now one is Down syndrome. Now in Down syndrome there is not too much scope to answer. Only 2 or 3 lines you have to say. One is, it is a trisomy. Trisomy means in the pair of chromosome, in place of 2 there will be 3 chromosomes. Then after this happens in 21st pair, and this is going to affect the IQ of the kid. That means mental and physical growth is going to affect. And if you want to add one more thing, then you can mention that in case of Down syndrome, the head of the kid could be round in shape. Could be round in shape. Now this is, we are talking about one extra chromosome. Now on the opposite side, you have to tell them in the next example that there are chances that there is less chromosome. Got it? So in that case, you can give them example of 22 pairs XX, 23rd pair is only X0. That is Turner syndrome. Now in case of Turner syndrome, you have to tell them there will be total 45 chromosome, and you know very well that what is going to happen with this guy. This will be a lady, this will be a female, and the female will not be able to reproduce in a way as the normal female will be able to. Then after, next is, yes, 2018. This question is really amazing question, and this question is directly asked from nuclear technology. Nuclear technology. Once again, I am telling you, if you are not having the knowledge of basics, you will not be able to understand the answer, and you will not be able to explain it, or you will not be able to answer it in a desired way. First thing, the word limit is only 15. Word limit is only 15. So first of all, you should be understand to what is beta decay. What is beta decay? First thing. So whenever they are going to ask you what is beta decay, it is only because of Samyak and Mukta ma'am, myself just prepared for pre only 1 month and 68 right questions. Good. Okay, now see. Now what is beta decay? So first of all, to grab the marks, you should know that this is related to nucleus. Second thing, this is spontaneous. Spontaneous, so it is nuclear reaction, this is spontaneous reaction, and then after what will happen in this thing, emission will take place. Now you know very well that if emission is taking place, that means nuclear is not stable. If the nuclear is not stable, that means this emission will take place from the radioactive. Got it? Now this is example of radioactivity. Now what is beta negative decay and beta positive decay? So in beta negative decay, electron is emitted, and in beta positive decay, now one thing is going to come here, what I was talking about, that you need to understand about the basics of the nucleus. Without understanding of basics of nucleus, you will not be able to crack the question. Now see, what is beta positive decay? In case of beta positive, electron P plus, which is named as positron, is emitted. So even if you have mentioned this much of thing, that means you are done with half of the marks. Anything is not written there, only you have mentioned this thing, that beta decay, beta negative decay, that means electron is emitted, beta positive decay, that means positron is emitted. Now one more thing, if you have mentioned this is related to nucleus, this is related to, this is a spontaneous reaction, and this is emission type of reaction. Now if there is time and if you are having energy to retain the things, then you can give examples also. There are multiple examples. For example, for beta negative decay, you can say one thing, the conversion of phosphorus into sulfur. Now how this is possible? You know very well that both of them are going to have 32 mass number. Now you should know the basics of mass number and atomic number. Now what is going to happen? Everyone knows that in case of beta negative decay, there will be atomic number will goes up by 1. Atomic number will goes up by 1. And in the same way, in case of beta positive decay, atomic number will decrease by 1. Got it? So if you are going to add these lines into this, 100% marks are there. Now how we will be able to deal with this much of difficult stuff, sir? So the answer is again the same. If you will study the basics from the zero and if you will prepare yourself for the mains, then it will not be a difficult thing. See, there is plenty of time lying ahead, but you need to use the time in a way which should be helpful for yourself, to save the time, to teach yourself that how you have to explain the things in concise way. These are the basics requirements of this thing. Now next is distinguish between analog and digital signals. I am DK Sharma from Mukherjee Nagar, Delhi. Hello, welcome, thank you. Now next question is 15 words. Just look at the word limit, 15 words. So that means they want you to explain the crux of the knowledge. Now if you will see over the internet, if you will search here or there, a lot of things are available about the differences between analog and digital signals. So first thing is you should know about basics. For example, they are explained in terms of sine waves. Sine wave like this, and they are explained as like this. They move like this. First thing, you have to explain this thing. Second thing is, you should know that these are the natural sources. These are originated from natural sources. For example, our voice. This is example of analog. I got 120 through 150 and 85 is correct. You are done with prelims. If anyone who is capable to score 80 plus, that means we can, and if anyone is capable to score 85 plus, that means done with prelims. You should jump into the era of mains. Now next thing is, they can be easily distorted, easily disturbed by noise. They cannot be disturbed by noise. Got it? So that's how you have to answer. So first, your first line should contain, your first line of your answer should contain the basics. Got it? Now one more thing. Don't forget to draw as much as possible, especially in science and geography. Don't ever forget to draw as much as possible. Got it? Next is two differences between soap and detergent. Once again, the question is from NCERT. Now see, first difference everyone should know about this thing is 88, 89 मार्क्स आ रहे हैं. हो गया प्री आपका. You are done with prelims. Now see, detergent and soap. So the first difference is, in the hard water, they will not be able to form foams, and they will work in hard water. Now if you want to explain it, then you should know about the COONA, C17H35. COONA, this is the formula of soap. When it will react with CaCl2, then you know very well that this Ca will replace this Na, and that's how you can show. Second difference you should mention, according to my opinion, is because in this thing you have consumed a lot of space. Second difference you can mention is, these are biodegradables, these are non-biodegradables. So you are done with two differences. If someone is saying that no sir, I want to explain something else, then you can explain it like that. Detergents can be divided into cationic detergents, anionic detergents, and you can say detergents which are not neutral, which are not having any kind of charge. Got it? But soaps are not, you can say, distinguished. Soaps cannot be divided in such categories on the basis of their, you can say, anionic or cationic. Yes, Michel's reaction, yes Vimla, you are absolutely correct that Michel reaction is the reason that soaps are working. But here the problem is, we are not having this much of space. Actually they have provided only Poonam Kanwar, I think you are asking in the, from the morning the same thing. आपने सुबह में भी यही पूछा है, मेरे को अच्छे से याद है. सुबह के सेशन में भी कमेंट्स आ रहे थे कि मेरे 101 नंबर आ रहे हैं, EWS फीमेल हूँ, बताओ हो जाएगा क्या? हो गया आपका, हो गया आपका. खुशियाँ मनाओ, आप लड्डू वड्डू लेके आओ, हमें भी खिला दो. गॉट इट? हो गया आपका. एनीवन हु इज हैविंग 85 प्लस, हो गया प्रीलिम्स. तुम तो मेंस की तैयारी शुरू करो, जंप करो मेंस में. चलो नेक्स्ट इज हीमोग्लोबिन. Now in 15 words hemoglobin, it is a challenging thing. 15 words only. First thing is hemoglobin का उन्होंने डायरेक्ट पूछा रोल. So role of hemoglobin, you know very well that hemoglobin जो है HB, it is formed of two parts, heme and globulin. Globulin part is protein, heme part is having iron as central atom. Other than this, they are having chains of amino acids. Now, if you have seen anything like this in the model answer of this thing, then you are doing the same mistake which many of the students have done. Got it? So what is the mistake? They are not asking you about the structure of hemoglobin. They are asking you about the role of hemoglobin. So with the star mark, I am telling you, never distract your answer from the goal. And what should be your goal? Content of question. That's why I am recommending you that you should understand this thing, that what they are trying to ask you. They are asking you the role of hemoglobin in 15 words. So how you can describe the role of hemoglobin? So you know very well that hemoglobin binds with the oxygen and it will form oxyhemoglobin complex, and that's how the oxygen is carried from the heart to the lungs. Exactly. Yes, Devpreet Singh, exactly. Absolutely correct. That's how you have to answer. Got it? Then after, describe the polymer and give two examples. Now see, 15 words, they are asking you three things: definition and examples. So whenever you see this type of question, you have to understand the thing that the marks are going to be divided on the behalf of two things. One will be definition, other one will be example. Now two example, that means 1/3 marks are lying here, 1/3 are here, and 1/3 are here. That's how they are going to give you the marks, and that's how you have to claim the marks. Got it? Now see, definition: polymers, repetitive linkage of smaller units named monomers. They are capable to form polymers. Now they are asking you about the biopolymers. So biopolymers, you know very well that starch. You know very well that proteins. Proteins are biopolymers of amino acids. Starch is actually polysaccharide. So they are example of, yes, please bataiye. Yes, collagen is also example of this thing. There are multiple examples. Then after, now see, microwave oven and microwaves. First of all, if any one of you is from science background, then I would recommend, highly recommend you people, that you people should go through the book of physics. Now in the NCERT of physics, if you will see, there is a chapter, electromagnetic spectrum. In the electromagnetic spectrum, if you have seen, there is a spectrum like this. In that, one part is given like this, that is named as VIBGYOR, which is named as visible spectrum. And then after, on this side, if you will go, there are ultraviolet rays, there are X-rays, there are gamma rays, then there are cosmic waves. On this side, if you will move, there are IR radiation, there is microwaves, there are radio waves, and many other things. Got it? So microwaves, first of all, why they are named as microwaves? First thing. Second thing, we have to understand that what is the range of microwaves and how we can describe the microwaves. So first thing is, see, when the word limit is 50 only. Got it? Now how you can explain it? So first thing is, you have to tell them that I am aware of basics. So what type of basics they are expecting from you? They are expecting from you that microwaves if you have gone through the NCRTs, or if you want to prove yourself that yes, I am the right candidate to claim the post of SDM or DSP, whatever you want to be, so first thing you have to tell them that I am aware of the basics. Now what are the basics? So in case of wave, there are only two things they are going to ask you. One is wavelength, other one is frequency. So if you know about two parameters, if you know about these two parameters, then you are capable to claim at least half of the marks just on the behalf of this knowledge, this much of knowledge. So first of all, you have to say that wavelength of microwaves is approximately from 1 millimeter to 10 centimeter. That's why they are named as microwaves. Then after, you know very well that if wavelength of any wave is smaller, that means the frequency will be very higher. The vibrations per second or the oscillations per second, they are going to be extremely high. So you have to say about the frequency that it is always in the giga range. Now, if you are saying giga range, that means you are showing off one more thing, that yes, I am having the knowledge of basic things, giga, penta, tera, what these things are. I am aware of RPSC, I am aware of these things. You have to speak like that. You cannot speak, obviously, your answer should speak like that. So when you are saying giga, then you should have example. So your answer should be like that, within the range of, for example, 30 gigahertz. 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. So when you are talking about gigahertz and when you are talking about frequency, that means indirectly you are giving them a message that yes, I am aware of basic things. Got it? Please बताएं, क्या बताएं झूमर राम? You have to ask me, then only I will be able to tell you. And if anything related to हिंदी मीडियम, तो शाम को 8 बजे मैं आ रहा हूँ. 8 बजे शुद्ध हिंदी में वार्तालाप होगा आपका और हमारा. Got it? Let it be with the English medium. We English medium people are actually minority. Till last to last vacancy, it was so less. Like I was looking in Jaipur, that is there anyone who is can we draw diagram? If answer is yes, 101% diagram तो जहाँ बने बनाना है. Diagram will help you to grab the mask. Got it? To grab the marks. If you want to get good marks, you need to draw as much as possible. Now, first thing, you are done with the explanation about microwaves. Now, you have to tell them, due to this range of spectrum, that is smaller wavelength, they are ideal for applications in operations like radar. Now, they are used in radar. समझ तो आ रहा है, बट लिखने में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम. हिंदी मीडियम कैन attend my evening session, then you will not have problem. Got it? Then they are used in magnetron. Now what is magnetron? I will tell you very soon. I will tell you what is magnetron. Then you can tell them about Gun diode. Now if you have mentioned this much, once again you can justify my statement. This thing is, you can say, capable enough to say again and again the same thing. There is no need of ornamentation if you know the basics of the subject. Got it? I think this much is enough to explain what are microwaves. What are microwaves? Now the second part of the question is asking you to explain about how the microwave oven is working. So once again there is a scope of diagram, so you have to draw a rough microwave oven like this. Then after, this is the microwave oven ka mirror, and then after, inside the microwave oven, you know very well, there is a circular disc, and there is this type of man-machine interface. This is named as MMI, man-machine interface. MMI, man-machine interface. This type of things are going to help you to explain your content in a scientific and logical way. Got it? So you have to prepare this type of brahmastras. We will prepare you people up to exam we will prepare you in such a way that even if you are not aware of anything, you will not leave the pages blank, number one. Number two, I will try to share as much as possible, as much ideas are there in my head. We will share with you, not only we will share with you, our team will share with you the ideas which will talk about the basics, that okay, if there is a question from this topic, you have to answer this. If you don't know the answer, even then you can write down these lines. These lines are going to work as Brahmastras. Brahmastra, you know very well, that universal weapon. Whenever you are left out of all the options, got it? No one of them is working. At that time you have to get out your Brahmastra. So that type of Brahmastra is like basics. From the basics you have to use this thing. For example, man-machine interface. Now this man-machine interface is going to help you to prepare this thing. Now next thing, how the microwave oven is working, they are going to ask you. So first of all, you should know that water molecule. Now water molecule, this is water molecule, you have to draw it like this. Now you have to tell them that this will start to rotate on 3 gigahertz. Got it? This will start to rotate on 3 gigahertz. Now when it will start to rotate on 3 gigahertz, so whenever anything which is containing water molecules, it will face the microwaves. It will face the microwaves, then that thing will start to rotate. Now this rotation of water molecules will leads to this spin, and this spin will leads to warming, and this warming will lead to heat transfer, and because of heat transfer the things will, like, they will be baked or they will be boiled. Now one more thing you have to add here, that because microwave oven is used for domestic purpose also, so we should never use the metal. You can say why? Because metal can melt, number one. Number two, metal can become hot. Two things. Third thing, you have to tell them that porcelain vessels are ideal to be used in microwave oven. Why porcelain? Then in the next line you can add one more thing, that porcelain is having larger space between the molecules, so it will easily allow the microwaves to enter into the, you can say, molecules, and let them to rotate and let them to sir, by Sunday you will be there at Samyak, please reply. Juniors, I am here till 31st. I am here in Samyak till 31st. I am here. After taking the session of 31st, on 31st I am taking a session on geography, and after taking the session on geography I will leave for Diwali vacations. Then after I will be back on 7th or 8th, unless and until I am here only. Got it? So you can contact the team and you can talk to them, or if you are on the group which is the group of students of Samyak, then I am there always. I can see your messages there. So that's how you have to answer. Then after very easy question, this kind of question, 100% marks. I am saying 100% marks. 100% marks. First thing is, what are the causes of communicable diseases? So you have to tell them that communicable diseases can be caused by many things. For example, there are vectors and there are causative organisms. Then after, they are asking you about the difference. You have to differentiate the communicable and non-communicable disease. Everyone knows that Alzheimer is non-communicable. Then cholera is communicable disease. Rabies is communicable disease. Trachoma is also communicable disease. Asthma is non-communicable disease. So that's how it is very easy to explain and answer it. Then yes, this is a nice question, immunity, and I'm telling you this is important concept. Important concept. Now many of the students, they think that in prelims our teachers or our seniors or whatever the things we were following, we are done with disease, we are done with all the things. Actually the syllabus looks like the very same, but the content is different this time, because the way of testing you is different. They are going to evaluate you, they are going to analyze your knowledge, they are going to, you can say, ask you in a different way. That's why a different approach is required this time. For example, this is best example, acquired immunity. So first of all, what is acquired? Acquired immunity. Acquired means earned. Anything which is earned by you is named as acquired immunity. Now you should know about acquired immunity. Sir, your teaching style is no, but it is effective. Thank you. Now see, acquired immunity. Now what is acquired immunity? Anything which is acquired by you, that means which is not normal to you. What is? It is not given to you by nature, it is acquired by yourself. Got it? Then it is named as acquired immunity. Now two type of acquired immunity is there. One is adaptive. Now adaptive acquired immunity, and other one is passive acquired immunity. Why I am saying this time it is important. In case of passive acquired immunity, you are not going to you can say grab the immunity, but you are going to receive the immunity. You are going to receive the immunity with the help of some other agent. For example, the first milk of mother's breast, which is named as colostrum. The first milk of mother's breast, which is named as colostrum. So this milk is having antibodies. So these antibodies are going to help the baby, but these are not actually prepared by the body of baby. So it is acquired immunity, but it is passive acquired immunity. Second example is, if anyone is going to receive antibodies, for example, in case of plasma, you know very well that during COVID, many people, they have undergone the plasma therapy. So what they were doing, they were actually taking out the blood of anyone who is done with COVID, who was infected with COVID, and now he is almost okay from the COVID. So now they will take out the blood, then after they will separate out the content of blood and plasma, and then after from the plasma, because plasma is having antibodies, so they will inject that plasma into different patient. So that is passive acquired immunity. So now what is adaptive acquired immunity? Now adaptive acquired immunity can be of two categories. One is direct. Direct means you are infected and then after you are immune to that disease. For example, COVID. I had COVID and now I am immune to COVID. That is example of what? Direct adaptive acquired immunity. And then after indirect, that means with the help of vaccination. Yes, I am vaccinated and now I am immune to COVID. That means I am having what? Vaccine based adaptive immunity. Got it? Then after nano mission of India, see, whenever there is a question about nanotechnology, you have to prepare nanotechnology in such a way that you should be able to explain the things. So whenever there is a question about this or nano mission or any question like this about nano mission or something like that, then first of all you have to tell them about the year. Because if you are going to tell them the you can say data, the basic data, so this kind of question is actually based upon facts. The facts are going to grab the marks. As much facts you can represent, as much marks you can grab from there. So nano mission, first of all year, then after you have to tell them related ministry. So everyone knows that in 2007 it was started. Then after they are going to ask you related ministry, so you have to tell them the Ministry of Science and Technology is going to deal with this thing. Then after any name, so big name in case of this thing is C.N. Rao. Now who was C.N. Rao? Everyone knows that at that time C.N. Rao was actually what? C.N. Rao was actually in charge of the very first, C.N. Rao was in charge of very first Nano Council of India. Nano Council of India. Nano Council of India. Got it? Now, yes, WBCB, yes, exactly. Now, then after they are going to ask you about nano mission, so you have to tell them now the applications, because you are going to tell them in 50 words. So these are the facts. Now they are going to ask you about the application areas. You have to tell them about application areas. Now the application areas, you are not going to any award. Yes, Bharat Ratna CNR. हाँ जी, चलो अब देखो ध्यान से, ठीक है. Now they are going to ask you about the applications. Now applications of this mission, when you are talking about application, you are not going to tell them about the applications of nanotechnology. You have to be aware of applications of mission. So you have to be very concise. The mission is working about the infrastructure. The mission is talking about one more thing. After infrastructure, the mission is talking about training and education in the field of nanotechnology. Got it? Then they are going to ask you one more thing, that what are the applications of this thing. Then you can say that we are dealing with research, we are dealing with international cooperation. So that's how you have to end your answer. And then after you have to say yes, biotechnology question was there. Yes, exactly. हिंदी मीडियम वाले शाम को आना 8 बजे, 8 बजे हिंदी में क्लास है तुम लोगों की, अलग से हिंदी का रखा है शाम को सेशन. ये इंग्लिश मीडियम वालों के लिए है. Now see, what is pH scale? We have discussed about it. That's why I talked about it in details at that time. Now we discussed about scientists also. In one shot I said we are done with that thing. pH, because of pH, how the tooth decay is taking place. Now see, if the food is stuck in between our tooth, so what is going to happen? The bacterial reaction, the bacteria will actually convert it into lactic acid. So because of presence of acids, the pH will go beyond, the pH will go below 5.5, and this will lead to tooth decay. So here you can draw a diagram, and then after made up of silicon, germanium. Now see, now this is the food stuck in between the tooth. So you have to show them, and then after you have to tell them that anything below 5.5 can decay or this thing. Then after there is a one more point. A milkman adds a very small amount of baking soda to a fresh milk. What will be this? So you know very well that baking soda means it is a base. So base will increase the pH. So if it will increase the pH, the bacteria will not be able to convert the milk into curd, or convert the lactose into lactic acid as soon as they are able to do without the presence of baking soda. Next is again the same thing. They are asking you one thing, which is distinguish between sky wave and space wave propagation in communication. Then after draw a schematic diagram showing ground wave, sky wave. Then after space wave propagation of electromagnetic. Once again they have asked you from the diagram. So from here we can see in last 2 exams of RAS mains, RPSC is asking one diagram from communication. In written they are asking you to draw the diagram. Got it? So that means they are going to ask you the question on the basis of basics of channels. Now if someone is not aware about the basics of channelization of process, then how he will be able to answer this question? So in case of this thing, I would like to draw this thing. Whenever there is a question about sky wave, or you can say space wave, or about the ground wave, there is a basic thing you should understand. This is the curvature of our earth. Now see, always there is a source of information and always there is a receiver of information. Now if the wave is traveling like this from one source of information to another source of information, this is representing ground wave. Then after you have to draw another antenna. Got it? Now if the wave is traveling from one transmitter to another receiver, one transmitter to another receiver, directly from one transmitter to another transmitter, like this, and here is ionosphere, and it is refracted from ionosphere and then it is received by this one. This is transmitter and this is receiver. Then this type of wave which is retracted Fee of mains class, anything you want to know about fee structure or course structure, then you can contact to the institution. That will be more proper way to talk, because even I am not aware of, to be very honest, even I am not aware of what is the fee structure of institution, because I am aware of only 2-3 things, that I have to study a lot, got it, and I have to explain the things in easier way. Now this wave which is coming with the help of ionosphere is named as sky wave. Then there is one more thing, there is one more option, that the wave is going directly to the transmitter of satellite. This is satellite, and from here if it is received directly to the receiver, then it will be named as space wave. So if you know this diagram, that means you are able to explain everything. Everything means everything. They have asked you about the difference between sky waves and space waves, you can explain it. If they have asked you the difference between ground waves and sky waves, you can explain it. Why? Because if you are having a block diagram, then there is enough scope to explain about the, you can say, application of this thing. Now, food preservation, many a times the question has been asked. This question is actually related to biotechnology. Biotechnology, you know very well that food preservation, nowadays food processing industry, you can start this question like this. That's how you can start your answer. Food processing industry is sunrise sector of new dimensions of industry. This type of dialogue, this type of, you can say, lines, they can help you to grab marks, especially when you are supposed to answer in 100 words. Whenever there is a question of 100 words, your answer should contain 2 things essentially. What are those 2 things? One is introduction part with effective dialogue, if it is possible, and then after there is conclusion part, again with effective dialogue, and in between you have to use the information as a filler of this gap. You have to take care of 100 word limit also. So you have to explain the things in such a way that it should be informative, it should be attractive, and it should be presented in a way which should look like that yes, the candidate is trying to answer honestly. Got it? Now, food preservation. There are many technologies. First of all, you have to talk about the ancient methods of food preservation. And why you have to talk about ancient methods? Because even NCERT is talking about them. Now, ancient methods, when they are going to ask you sugar syrup, sugar syrups were used, for example, is murabba. Then after they are going to ask you about the ancient methods, you can say salt, you can say oil, you can say vinegar. All these things were used forever. Then after you can say scientific methods. Now in case of scientific methods, you can talk about pasteurization. In pasteurization, you can give the example of temperatures recommended for pasteurization of milk. Got it? And if you are having problem, with the content, that I am short in terms of content, then you can enhance this content, because the milk pasteurization is having 2 methods: low temperature high time method and high temperature short time method. So you can give both the examples, 63 degrees Celsius and 72 degrees Celsius. We can use this thing. Then after you can use advanced methods. You can give the examples of advanced methods. The example of advanced methods are, a lot of examples are, for example, vacuum packing, for example, nitrogen filling, if you have seen the packets of your, you can say, crackers and sorry, not crackers, of your this thing, Lays or Uncle Chips or whatever it is, got it? So this thing is filled up with a gas, and that gas is nitrogen. Then after removal of oxygen, then after removal of moisture, and one advanced method is lyophilization. Lyophilization means, example is milk powder. Milk powder is preserved in the form of powder, so that is actually prepared with the help of lyophilization technique. So these are the examples you can use to explain this thing. Then after, they are asking you about the Rajasthan. They are asking you that you have to enumerate and comment upon the schemes and works considered under the public health initiatives in Rajasthan. 100 words, that means there is a greater possibility. So here you can start from the DPSPs. That are DPSPs, they talks about welfare state. And welfare state always talks about the health facilities. That's how this is introductory dialogue. Now, from the help of these lines, you are telling the examiner that yes, I am aware of the value of health. I am aware of the value of this question has been asked. Then after, you have to say the Rajasthan government is doing maximum possible efforts to do good for the health related facilities. Then after, you have to say one more thing. That's what you have to say, that Rajasthan government is doing this thing from a very long time. Then after, you have to use your weapons from the current affairs. For example, you have to talk about CM free drug distribution program. You have to talk about CM you can say free medical investigation program. Then after, you have to talk about e-Aushadhi. Then after, you have to talk about ASHA. You have to talk about Adarsh PHC. Then after, you have to talk about satellite hospitals. Now there are, you can say, plenty of things you can talk about. For example, 104 number, 108 number. Then after, you can talk about Rajasthan state Mahatma Gandhi Chiranjeevi Yojana. That's how you have to give examples. Now, with the help of examples, and if you have basic knowledge of schemes which are going on in current affairs, you can use it. You can use this knowledge to explain it in a proper way. And in the last of the question, don't ever forget to give the conclusion. Now, in conclusion, you can use some of the datas. Here you can use some of the facts, that first of all, this much number of medicines were given free of cost. Now this much number of medicines are given free of cost. That means government of Rajasthan is working in a positive manner, and day by day we are going to enhance the reach of our programs, universal health programs, for everyone who is living in Rajasthan. So this was all about today's discussion on, you can say, mains questions, got it, for 2016 and 2018. Now please let me know whatever questions are there. Now I am standing there to entertain your queries. What are your questions? Now ask one by one. Now I am free from my task. Now I can entertain your questions. Tell me. Details of the schemes. See, when I'm saying you have to answer about the schemes, for every scheme it is impossible that at least 2 or 3 lines you can write down about every scheme. That is, scheme was started in this year, this scheme is you can say having this much of area or criteria. That's how 2 lines for each scheme is enough, because you have to explain at least 3 or 4 schemes. Any other query? Yes, juniors. My old students, everyone knows that I keep on calling them juniors. So if you are new to this platform, then it will be your habit very soon. They keep on calling me senior sir or boss sir. Sir, is there any provision in Samyak for online answer writing? See, Dharmendra, for this thing, I am not the right person to ask. You should ask about the fees and all these things to Team Samyak. Any other query? 89 marks. Yes, 100% chance है सैनी जी. 85 से ऊपर कोई भी है, मस्त रहो एकदम। स्कोप ऑफ नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी, यस, स्कोप ऑफ नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इज अ वेरी वास्ट इशू। इस पे तो पूरा ऐसे आएगा इस बार, ये मान के चलो तुम। स्कोप ऑफ नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी छोटे से शुरू होता है और बहुत बड़े तक जाता है। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? Actually, my problem was with this thing is, you know very well that in case of science and other things, there is a very big difference. Basic classes would be covered in online. See, Sarita Chaudhary, everything will be covered. See, even if you was not our student, we are going to start from zero and we will prepare you for mains. Got it? Okay, any other question? Okay, स्पेस प्रोग्राम इज नॉट अ पार्ट इन मेंस। देवप्रीत सिंह, अगर आप आरएस की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो तो आपको सिलेबस पता होना चाहिए। मेंस में स्पेस नहीं है। Okay, thank you. And if you want to go through the basics, then there are 3 lectures which we have provided just before the exam, just before the RAS pre-exam, and those sessions were in bilingual way. Either I was writing in English and speaking in Hindi, or I was writing in Hindi and speaking in English. In both the cases, how much can a student score maximum in science, as it is a scoring subject? See, the second paper is not only the paper of science, dear. It is a mixture of ethics, then after geography, and then after this thing, science and technology. Then after हिंदी में बताओ। हिंदी वालों को रात को हिंदी में बताने वाला हूँ, हर चीज हिंदी में बात करने वाले हैं उस टाइम। This session is only for English medium students. '87 TSP, yes, you should start to prepare. Sir, your hairs are so good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. हाँ, हिंदी माध्यम की अलग से कक्षा होगी आज शाम को 8 बजे। एक्चुअली मेरे हेयर का या मेरे बालों का तुम्हारे को मार्क्स नहीं मिलने वाला है। They will give you marks for whatever you will write down in the exam. Okay, so hopefully it was a beneficial session for all of you. So tomorrow I will see you all in a session for Rajasthan history and culture, and day after tomorrow we will meet up for a session of geography. Okay, so thank you. Thanks for listening to me. Have a good day. Keep on studying. Stay happy. Stay hopeful. Even if you are able to crack the exam, you prepared your best. And even if you are not able to do that, even in that case, you should feel proud that at least you was the one who tried to do something. Got it? So thank you. Thanks to you.